This guy killed his entire family because he was scared of them going to hell. John List is a very religious guy who seemed to have a dream life. He was a vice president at a bank, lived in a 19-room mansion in New Jersey, and went to church every Sunday with his wife, 3 kids, and even his mom.
Hello everyone, so this video is a little bit different from the videos that I typically done. We're going to be checking out crazy things that happen to people that are under the influence of religion and God. There's a lot of crazy stuff that is happened in the past and that are currently happening right now in that aspect of world, and man, it is ridiculously crazy. So make sure that you guys stay tuned to hear everything that is going on. Drop a like and subscribe if you are new, and make sure to drink water and stay hydrated. Let's jump straight into this.
This man of God set 6 of his church members on fire just because they fornicated, and one of them eventually died. Meet Dr. Reverend King, one of the most notorious men of God you would ever hear of. He was found guilty of murder in 2007 and was sentenced to death. You would think the drama would end here, but no, it doesn't. His followers proved to be 3 times as mad as he is, as they threatened war on the country if His Holiness, as they call him, is killed. And every year, these church members would publish newspaper articles showering him with praises and love, hoping for his return. King would appeal his death sentence and take his case to the Supreme Court. You would not believe the atrocities the court discovered during his trial.
This guy killed his entire family because he was scared of them going to hell. John List is a very religious guy who seemed to have a dream life. He was a vice president at a bank, lived in a 19-room mansion in New Jersey, and went to church every Sunday with his wife, 3 kids, and even his mom. To everyone, he looked like a good religious man, but when he lost his job, everything unraveled. List was so proud to tell anyone he was unemployed. Every morning, he pretended to go to work, but instead, he would sit at the train station reading newspapers. Meanwhile, his bills piled up every day. The mortgage on his mansion overdue by several thousands of dollars. List became obsessed with one idea. If his family got too poor, they would lose their faith and their chances at heaven. He convinced himself there was only one way to save their souls. One day, List told his family they were going on a trip. Then he did the unthinkable. First, he shot his wife, then his mom. When his 3 kids came home from school, he killed them too. Afterward, he sat down and wrote a 5-page letter to his pastor, explaining that he did it to save their souls. Before fleeing, List destroyed every photo of himself in the house, leaving no trace of his identity. He left the lights on in his mansion, packed his bags, and disappeared. For 18 years, John List lived a new life under a new name, Bob. He remarried, worked different jobs, and stayed active in his church. He seemed like he had gotten away with murder, but in 1986, everything changed. America's Most Wanted aired an episode about the unsolved List family murders. This is like a TV show that talks about the most wanted people in America. A forensic artist created an age bust of what List might look like. The resemblance was crazy. A former recognized him and called the authorities. 2 weeks later, the FBI arrested Bob at his office. He confessed and was sentenced to life in prison. At 82, John List died in prison for pneumonia.
So bro literally killed his entire family because he was scared they're getting too poor and might miss their chance of going to heaven. Wait, I didn't know you gotta pay your way to heaven, but people have different beliefs.
Before his death, he said he hoped to reunite with his family in heaven. Man, this is crazy.
When the Catholic Church started its Holy Inquisition in 1184, where people they declared heretics, scientists and witches were killed for their beliefs, innocent men were accused falsely and killed in order for their wives to be sexually abused by the Inquisitor. In the year 1486, an inquisitor named Diego Rodriguez Lucero falsely accused innocent medieval men of blasphemy so he can have sex with their wives after they are burnt at the stake. In Spain, around the year 1455, Jewish women were taken from their husbands by the church and were handed over to sex predators as punishment for the sins of their husbands. The church knew that Jesus as a person never walked on this earth, but in order to force this lie, they unleashed violence on humanity through the process of Inquisition and the Crusade. The church had an evil book titled Malleus Maleficarium, written in the year 1486 to 1487, where it instructed the soldiers, that is the inquisitors of the church, to torture and kill innocent men, women and children who are not Christians, especially those they have declared witches and wizards. The book gave different devices on how to force out false confessions from innocent atheists, scientists, and others whose philosophies contradicts church teachings. Some inquisitors gave false judgment against innocent pagan men just to sleep with their wives after they are burnt at the stake, and Diego Rodriguez Lucero was one of them.
You have not read the Bible. If I had $1 for every time that your God either killed someone directly or instructed someone else to kill someone, I'd be Daddy Warbucks. Here's a few examples, just a few. Genesis 7, God sends a flood to kill the entire population on earth aside from Noah and his family. 1 Samuel 15, God commands the slaughter of the Amalekites, including all of the children. Exodus 12, God kills all the firstborns in Egypt. Numbers 21, God sends venomous snakes to kill his own people. Genesis 19, God destroys Sodom and Gomorrah, killing everyone residing there. Exodus 14, God hardens the Pharaoh's heart for like the 5th time and causes the Pharaoh to go after the Israelites that he just set free. Then God drowns the Pharaoh and all of his army. Joshua 8, God commands the Israelites to kill 12,000 innocent men and women in the city of Ai. Numbers 31, God commands the slaughter of the Midianite men and the non-virgin women. God also commands the Israelites to take the virgin women for themselves. What a loving God. Judges 7 and 8.
Wait, so are you guys even listening to what she's saying? Because she only speaking facts. Like, the way they painted the image of God, all good, and the image of the devil, all bad. But when you take a look at the realistic about everything, and when you read the Bible and see how much people that God actually killed, it way surpassed what the devil has done. Way, 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 way surpassed that. Maybe everything that we probably we think we know, or think we're doing right, maybe it's not. Maybe we even serving God for the devil, and the devil who we reject all the time for God. Maybe. Who knows?
8, God commands Gideon and his 300 men to attack the Midianites, and 120,000 men are killed.
What if Christianity was only invented so people can be mass murderers and get away with it? Like, as long as you give yourself over to Jesus Christ, you can create mass genocide. You can drop bombs on entire families. It's okay. It's for our country. And I seek forgiveness from Jesus, so I can drop this bomb and annihilate an entire group of people, right? I'm protected by Jesus.
You will not believe this information, for the God killer hides in plain sight. But for those of you who can get past the bias of darkness, you shall see the light. Do you know who this is? Comment who you think this is below, but I warn you, you have no idea. While you're trying to figure it out, let me give you some clues. He struck a man named Onan because he refused to plant his seed in his sister-in-law. He burned his worshippers alive because they did not worship him properly. He sent 2 bears to decimate and maul 42 children for mocking his messenger. He wiped out 70,000 Israelites for the wrong of one man. He sends a spirit to wipe out all the firstborn within a nation. Have you figured it out yet? He commands the earth to swallow entire families, and he used to be depicted with horns. That's him right there. Who is this God killer? Give your final guesses in the comments below. 3, 2, 1. This is Yahweh, the God killer of the Bible. To be fair, Yahweh also did a lot of good in these mythologies. But we need to understand mythology is not history. You see, I made the case that these gods are real and they have real history, but you gotta separate their mythologies to properly understand them. A spirit is in essence a form, a collection of attributes that make something what it is, and they come from a matrix. A matrix, if you look up the etymology, comes from the word mater, which means womb.
a matrix, a medium, or structure in which something develops in. This book not only proves that gods exist, but it tracks the history of Yahweh. It's called World War Gods, the biography of Yahweh. The free audiobook is in a link at the top of my page. But be warned, if you're too religious or closed-minded, it can drive you crazy. I love you all. Peace.
Oh man, there's so many things that happen in history that is so evil and it's drive based on religion. Like, I don't know, people see things, but the way I see things, it's just completely different. It's just completely different. I try to, stay as article as I can and not get too superstitious because, you know, it's just crazy when you think about some stuff that actually happened in the past. And we believe it. A lot of Christians and a lot of religious people, they believe it and they're going to their grave with it. You cannot tell them anything about their God, their Bible, their history. It's insane. But we ain't here to fight anybody and take anybody away from what they believe. We're going to continue.
11 years ago today, 21 Christian men lost their lives on a shoreline because they refused to turn away from Jesus. This is their story. The 21 Coptic martyrs were Egyptian believers working in Libya as laborers. They were fathers, brothers, and sons, and they were taken captive by ISIS because of their faith. They were given a choice: reject Christ and survive, or remain faithful to him and face death. One man from Ghana was not originally a Christian, but when he witnessed the unwavering faith of those 20 men, he declared, "Their God is my God." In their final moments, they prayed and called upon the name of Jesus. They were ready to surrender their lives for the truth. They chose Christ instead of fear. They were killed on a Libyan beach, and the news stunned the world. The Coptic Orthodox Church recognized them as martyrs and saints, and in 2023, Pope Francis also honored them as saints. In the Catholic Church, the 21 Coptic martyrs are remembered as modern witnesses who show that faith in Christ is worth everything, even life itself. They remind us that Christianity is not just tradition, it is bravery, it is truth, and it is complete trust in Jesus. So today, as we remember these faithful men, let us seek their prayers and lift up all persecuted Christians around the world.
In 1978, a charismatic preacher...
Let me stop that for a second. These guys are so brave that they're going to give their life for a simple belief system. Like, you got no evidence that it's actually real. But people would simply give up their life, like something that you are sure about. Like, I am sure that I'm talking to this mic than anything else. So I don't think I personally would have taken it that seriously. But again, disclaimer, I know a lot of people are really, really serious about their religion, and I don't want to take that from them any way, or shape at all. So we're gonna just watch this with an open mind and share our personal thoughts about it. That's it. Let's continue watching.
Convinced over 900 people to follow him to paradise. Instead, he led them to the largest murder-suicide in history. Jim Jones promised racial equality and utopia. His followers trusted him completely. They sold everything they owned and moved to a remote jungle compound in Guyana. But Jones had other plans. He controlled every aspect of their lives: sleep deprivation, forced labor. He staged fake attacks to make them paranoid and dependent on him for protection. When Congressman Leo Ryan arrived to investigate, Jones knew it was over. He gathered everyone together and ordered them to drink cyanide-laced flavor aid. He called it revolutionary suicide. The final audio recording is haunting. Jones commands parents to poison their children first. You can hear babies crying in the background. 918 people died that day. 304 were children. Jones himself refused to drink the poison. He died from a gunshot wound instead. The man who promised salvation became the architect of one of history's most horrific mass murders.
That is really terrifying. The audio messed up once more, so I gotta voice this over. But let me know what you guys think about this down in the comment section. Be sure to share your honest thoughts. As I said, I got nothing against religion. I don't want it to seem like I am attacking anybody in any way or shape or form. I just want to spread awareness of things that is possibly taking place right now and things that happen in history. So do leave a like and subscribe, and let me know if you guys want more of content like this so we can keep making them. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.